We hope you've got coffee ready, maybe a cold beverage or two, and an excitement for a first-time matchup between the second-year M3 FAU Owls and the ACDC Jacksonville Dolphins. Hi, everybody, and welcome inside Boca Ice Center. We appreciate your patience for this delayed puck drop with two programs that have never played before, the first year for this Jacksonville ACDC group. They traveled just about 4 hours north of here, and with an hour-and-a-half delay, a flat tire repaired later, this Dolphin squad has made it to South Florida to take on a Florida Atlantic team coming off two losses to Georgia Tech and the South Florida Bulls last week. My name is Devin Serra, our producer is Mitch Liswith, and we'll bring you this one. FAU looking for a bounce-back performance after they only scored 2 goals last weekend while conceding 15. Georgia Tech, they had as many as 10 penalties in that game in which the M2 Yellow Jackets swarmed them. And then game 2 against the USF team and M3 this year, a former runner-up in the M2 Conference Championship, they got thumped 9-1. Andrew Yagoda told us they simply have got to find consistency and play a little bit more discipline for a group that is very talented and got off to a great season opening sweep of Miami, ACDC and M3, who just lost, M3 did, to FAU Division II. But they're going to need to have a clean game and settle things down. Jacksonville, meanwhile, comes into this one 3-0. They had their opening series win as a program against St. Leo in Community First Igloo, 10-1 and 7-4. And last week parlayed an excellent opening weekend with a win over Florida Tech ACDC 7-5. This group is led by a former Jacksonville Iceman out of the ECHL, Derek Lodermeyer, and he's got some talent on this roster. Michael Gugliotta, their captain, is a product of the Bold City Battalion USPHL Premier, and they have some other AAA with the likes of Rocco Salvi, Nathan Stremecki, and the Polini brothers, James Polini and Greg Polini. Some guys to watch out for on that side. And for FAU, some notable scratches tonight include John Bayona among this crew. They have had a rough go of it as of late, but they will switch up some of the lines. Their top group will need to be great. Drew Renzi will tag up with their defensive leader, Sam Watson, and we'll get a look at William Comtois Tuman as well, a former product of the Florida Junior Panthers. It's going to be fun. We're glad you stick with us here until the early hours of September 27th. But this Jacksonville team wanted to get this game. They did not want to have a forfeit come all this way for naught. And they're ready to go for their 4th game as a program. Owls, led by Andrew Yagoda, will come out of the left zone, and their starter tonight includes Matthew McMillan, who we'll get to in a little bit. Some also notable news: if you joined us earlier, Division II beat Miami M3 14-0. A hat trick by Emilio Stabile, followed up with some first-time goals. Ronan Keenan, his first as a D2 Owl, was part of the story there. And the debut of Jackson Newendike, former NCAA Division I product. For this M3 game, it's going to be an important one, as FAU needs to get back on the right track after they conceded a lot of power play goals. They have as many as 93 penalty minutes to start the year with that coaching squad as we get ready for puck drop from Boca Ice. Starting lineup's about to be announced. And never mind, no announcement. We are gunning straight into it. Owls will go from left to right. Matthew McMillan is in net for them. On the opposite side, Connor Rose out of Syracuse, New York. Still temporary jerseys, but FAU needs a new life. And they're going to try and reverse some of their demons against a first-year Jacksonville program. We are underway here in this delayed puck drop. Owls need a quick start. They have had a tough go of it. 2 goals in their last 120 minutes as a program. They had 1 in overtime against Miami M3 2 weekends ago, and a 7-4 victory here at home. This one is paddled aside by Rose, stolen by the Owls. They have an opportunity on a turnaround, nearly deflected behind Rose on goal, and that one just went wide of the right post. Trying to get after it for the Owls, Drew Renzi. Starting line out there for them with the first group. Joseph Lozaritis, Drew Renzi, along with Sam Watson. Here's Renzi trying to get onside. He gets poke check, shot quickly on Rose. Hit the outside of the goal. And after it, Rocco Salvi for Jacksonville, who goes from right to left in those white and tan pant uniforms. Salvi can't find this puck. It comes free and whiffed on forward by Nick Naumov, the alternate captain. Now back into their own ends boards. Jonathan Lent trying to find space with it. They'll move it up for Naumov, who will just backhand it into the hand of an Owl. Wanting to skate up ice with it. And a finished collision. Lozaritis paying the price. Onside goes the Dolphins. That's number 34, Antonio Pedri, trying to get free for it. Unable to hold the blue line was Luke Blass. And the Dolphins reset out of the neutral zone. They'll dump and chase it in. Keep that line out there. McMillan to slow possession of the puck, looking for a bounce back. Look out. Almost had a man on the back door ready, and they were not. Well, a quick start to this one. Owls turn it over. 3-on-1 develops. They go to the net. Saved by Rose. Stick to side of the end boards. Rothamich took the shot alone. Finishing blow to the end boards. Trying to free up space behind. Rothamich can't get to it. Jacksonville is out. Pedri wanted to forward it for Stremecki, and that went off his skate blade. Owls reclaim out of their own zone. 2-2 on the season. Talked about losing to a very stout M3 USF team that hosts the former Division II Player of the Year on their roster. This one's into the deep end boards, and just getting behind with it, trying to circle is Moriarty, the defenseman out of Brandon, Florida. Second group getting set up now. Justin Lopes, this second line, a little bit of changes. As we mentioned, some guys out of the lineup tonight, including John Bayona, most notably. This one up to the point. Moriarty can't get there in time. He'll just race back with it. Opposite D-man to him. Jacksonville wants a shot on McMillan. They get it to an open space. That's a good save on James Pellini. Dolphins player down in the far circle. That's Ryan Jackson. He's gingerly getting to the bench here. Backhand try wide of the goal by Janowski. Owls are in their own midst of changes, is trying to take it over the far wing alone. No stoppage of play yet in this one. 4 minutes already gone. Owls back on side. Janowski defends. Far wing. They wanted to forward it in front, and unable to pick that up. Finishing check at the Boca Ice logo. Into his feet, Pellini. To the end boards. Fought around the corner. In front, nobody there to pick it up yet. One-timer blast into the hands of goaltender Connor Rose. You might still notice temporary jerseys for this M3 group. Still waiting on their orders to come in. Andrew Goda patiently asked to wait. Some of these new numbers. It's not a team favorite look, although I don't think it's that bad. But still working with temporary numbers can be challenging for everybody. Rocco Salvi gets it back to Jonathan Lent. The Seaford, New York native, will get it back to Salvi, who was a very talented AAA product with the Chicago Fury from Clarendon Hills, Illinois, and they are offside. One of our first stoppages of this contest. We welcome you in if you're listening from Jacksonville. Jacksonville is led by Derek Lodermeyer, the longest tenured Jacksonville Iceman in the ECHL club's history. Assistant coaches Tim Boydston, Zach Necke, Connor Blunt. The only coach making the trip, though, tonight is Jim Stecklow. Had a chance to talk to him a little bit earlier about this brand new program. Jacksonville, a private liberal arts college, hosting a full roster in their first year. They've had some time to get prepared for this, although they believed they were going to be an AAU until the eventual split from the conference to ACHA as that puck's flipped out of play. And I think he told us it was not much they could do about it. They did the best they could to get scheduled, and lucky for them, they have a lot of promising games in the ACDC. Not too deep of a conference, about 9 or 10 teams. They still have something to play for, however. They'll take on a couple of ACDC teams pretty soon, like Florida Tech. Here come the Owls the other way, trying to race it in. They have to retreat out of their own zone. Renzi has it now. Defensive stand by Stremecki. This being a first-year program, it's a very developed Jacksonville squad, a full lineup. And we've heard from them they have as many as 15 players waiting in the wings, ready to join next year, too. Owls trying to get back to the attack. Janitik. Now Sam Watson will play tag. In the left wing, shot towards Rose, and that one's gobbled up with no rebound. And we were going to tell you about some of our scratches tonight, but Janitik was on that list. I guess he is in the lineup. I will get confirmation of that for you later. Some guys are trading numbers a bit on this roster still. Rothamich gets one ahead. Carozzo. Owls turn it over to Polini off his own man skate blade. Getting to it in front. Carozzo wanted to get Rothamich. One-timer by unnamed player. Worked with us well here. Jacksonville out of their own circle. It's going to be a struggle, folks. Hopefully I can keep myself awake here. It's a late one we got coming up here. Rothamich cuts through the defense, trying to get it past Rose once, twice. Pad stopped, and clearing the lane was Brandon Muth. He has a heap of speed and numbers coming on the breakout. Gets over the line, onside, flips into the air. Buccigrassi sidestepped, and eventually the puck came free to the end boards behind McMillan. Now boxing out his man, leaving it once again for Rothamich. Third line back out there for the Owls. They'll try and get to it. It sidesteps Buccigrassi and having to come back and get it. Out of their own slot. It's a quick pace to start this one, still scoreless. Stretch pass, cut off by James Polini. He wants to get around defenders, dances and flips it out. It's picked up by Renzi. Or rather, Buccigrassi. Jacksonville playing a very cautious defensive zone, putting 3 defenders back in the neutral zone, just waiting for the Owls to get up ice. They send one forward to fly in and pester them. They set up the track well. James Polini over the line. Shot from right wing, easily seen and gloved off of Aaron Fields' shot. or rather Dylan Semino. So we get some more changes in this one. Almost halfway gone through this first period. Tie up for the draw. Quick shot came on McMillan. He was ready for it off the stick of Nick Naumov, their alternate captain. Owls reclaim the zone. Connor Rose way out of the net to fly it all the way to the opposing goaltender in McMillan, and that works. Good job, heads up play. Experienced goaltender out of Syracuse, New York. The last couple of years with Corin High School in New York. 3.84 goals against average. As there's a blocker stop by McMillan into the air. And a AAA product Connor Rose was of the Syracuse Nationals. Moriarty once after this puck. Sharp angle try off the side of the goal. Out of the Owl zone, they race in after it. And Carter Baker is there. Second group getting set up for FAU. Over the right wing. Trying to get through the defense. Rose wanted to come out and play that puck like he did earlier, and his defense helped him out. Owls reclaim the neutral zone, and they dump it in. Salvi boxes his man out, crashes into the goaltender. That was Rothamich getting a handful of Rose. Jonathan Lent will play keep away. Muth receives at his own blue line. Cut off, turned over by Renzi. He's got a man in front, takes one towards the net. Stick saved by Rose and cleared out by his defense. Jacksonville even numbers the other way. Greg Polini skates wide, throws hard to the backhand, does not get the shot off. And McMillan doing a good job forcing him with the stick that way. Now it's Luke Blass. Buffalo, New York native can't hold it. Gets it back now. Owls collapse in on the puck. Prevent it getting towards McMillan. They've got a man posted in front. Calling for it on the stretch was Renzi. Cut off by Frank Noble. And that will allow Jacksonville to change their numbers. We're halfway gone in this first. Devin Serra riding solo with you here. Our producer Mitch Liswith and this great Owl TV staff doing the night shift. This one's sent deeper, the opposite half boards. Zach Kappas is there to send it in for Blass. A little bit of back and forth, neither side breaking down much defensively. Jacksonville, although it did allow an odd man rush, which Connor Rose stopped beautifully. Greg Polini almost was offsides over the line. Blue line, Blass allows them to regain the zone entry over the right wing. Dropped to nobody in white and tan. Delayed penalty coming up here on Jacksonville, and they're going to get them for a trip, it looks like. And it is, in fact, trip. Owls go to their first power play. This special teams group has been their story, and more likely than not the opposite, since they have had a tough time staying out of the box themselves. But they will get an opportunity here. Tripping call on Zach Kappas. 8:19 to go in this first. Off the draw, Owls win it. They get it up to the point. Lozaritis tried to feed a man in front. It was deflected away. Lozaritis back forward in front. Janowski defensively with Blast. Do a good job at slowing that puck down. And they'll get it the opposite way of the ice. McMillan out of the net, drops it off. First power play group out there. Opposite wing pass connects. Stremecki, good job defensively to pursue Connor Moriarty at the blue line, and that forces FAU back to their own zone again. over the Boca Ice logo, skating wide. Feet in front, trying to get it for Lozaritis, and it went through his stick. And Blass, out of the far corner, does a great job to send it the length of the ice. 1 minute gone in the power play. On the tripping call is at Kappas. Lone owl in, A.J. Berry. Couldn't get through that defense. And Sam Watson, defenseman, has to go back and reset once again. Very stingy Jacksonville penalty kill here. They are keeping the Owls to the outside, getting to the puck, and they are offside. And Renzi throws the puck into the boards in frustration. This Owl crew felt like they were in the game against Georgia Tech for a little while before the penalty started to get out of hand. And then against South Florida, they simply did not have it on a night when they needed it. Grant Dietz, that former M3 Player of the Year in College Hockey South, lit them up. And they went on to a 9-1 loss at the Advent Health Ice Center. So if you're a Florida Atlantic right now, just getting one is the confidence boost they're looking for. 7 seconds to go. Jacksonville trying to hold it on that far blue line and get it out. They can't do it. Good job by the Owls to pin that side. Sam Watson, and they won't keep it hold. But after the penalty expired, the flying disc sent to the opposite trapezoid that will cause an icing. 6:09 to go. 0 for 1 goes the Owls on the man advantage. And Andy Yagoda without some players in this lineup we were talking about. I said Sam Carozzo's name, but I was wrong on that. Some notable scratches tonight. John Bayona, Janitek, Carozzo, Cholnik, Hudson Kotze, and Andonovsky. So a very different men's 3 roster tonight, which is, in all honesty, hiccuping me as well. Jake Buccigross has it now. The sophomore tried to get free, retreated after he was pursued defensively by Brandon Muth. Muth finishes the check on him. He gave it up, though, to the left wing. Shot on Rose. Pad stop. Lent pulls up with Salvi. Pursued by A.J. Berry. Justin Lopes and Michael Terry in there. Lent steals it away, sends it once again off the boards, and this will be is it an icing? Yes, they say the Owls did not touch it there at the red line. I will say to any folks that are listening to this at Boca Ice, if you can deliver black coffee to the second balcony, I would greatly appreciate it. I am needing one really badly. A slap shot from the point, deflected off of an Owl body in front. Rothamich is in there. Fight ensues for it at that half board. Bryce Malcolm can't keep it in the zone. Brandon Muth this time gains the red line, and now Jacksonville is able to get a much needed line change. They were stuck out there for as long as a minute and a half. Sam Watson cuts to the defense. Rather, Rothamich looking for a man in front, and a deflection nearly cut through on Rose. Went off his chest protector, and Jacksonville the other way with Blass, and we got a whistle here. Did they say it was a high stick potentially? They're going to put this puck right at center ice. 4:31 to go in the first period. Very solid first by both teams defensively. Jacksonville allowed the odd man rush about halfway left in the first, and since then they have stymied the power play for FAU, although they have been okay defensively as well. Noble wants to flip it out of the zone. He will for Stremecki. McMillan directing traffic. We get another whistle. Are they going to say that was iced? The Owls' goal came out, is what the linesmen say. And McMillan's as confused as ever. What actually happened there? They say the net was dislodged behind the play, and that's why they stopped these two teams. A little bit odd there. Usually you'll see an official come from behind and fix the netting or ask the goaltender to, but that case, play, they didn't want to take any chances and stopped play entirely. Owls look to reclaim the zone. Fight behind the net for a backhand. Pad stopped by Rose, and he's going to smother it. Owls were bearing down on him in front of the goal from that trapezoid in. And a Jacksonville group defender that's grinning back to the bench. That's Frank Noble. He got roughed up in a tough way behind the net. A little bit of an awkward collision. Hope he's all right. Defensive from Anchorage, Alaska. This Jacksonville team has only two guys from the state of Florida on it. Sam Renzi whiffs on a wrist shot. Well past the right post. Naumov wanted to stretch west to east with Pellini, who finishes a hit. Antonio Pedri, rather. Here's the captain for Jacksonville, Michael Gugliotta. Fair Lawn, New Jersey native is stripped, and Renzi has it back. Getting a lot of ice time wearing number 11. Usually wears number 7. And we'll see if he continues with that number when they finally get this jersey order through at some point. Janowski with Renzi pursuing. Out of the high slot, Owls race for it. Upright wing, Connor Moriarty alone. Takes a shot, sailed it over top of the goal. Jacksonville players crash into each other. It finally comes free and falling to the ice. Gugliotta, Jacksonville fans want a call. Not sure they're going to get one as there's a glove save by McMillan on Brandon Muth. .233 to go. We have 2 minutes on the board. And it's an Owl player going to the box. And no secondary signal from the linesman. He's obviously the one not forcing the calls. We'll get the announcement of it, but it is Connor Moriarty in the box. So Jacksonville to their first man advantage. And now this is what Owl fans really are thinking about. This group has had a lot of penalties, but a very solid first opening for them, clean. And that's about all you can ask for Andrew Yagoda's squad coming off 2 tough losses where they took a ton. Jacksonville over the line. Negated instantly at the blue line. Penalty killers. Cross ice feed for Lent. He'll try to enter. Negated, short-handed the other way. Call is tripping on Moriarty. There is 30 seconds separating game clock from the power play time. So this one will not carry over into the second unless we get another infraction. Behind his own goal, the C for New York native, Jonathan Lent. Right wing pass connects, Muth. Dump and chase they go. Gugliotta's in there, their captain. Behind the goal, Bucci Gross. Whiffed on a clear. Help coming, that's a great job, falling down. And we get a whistle, that was Alex Bartoshevich. Our player fell down behind. And they're going to say that was another dislodging? I'm not really sure. Oh, as I was looking at my score sheet there for a moment. 30 to go in the power play for Jacksonville. 1 minute in the period. Connor Rose directs this to the near side. Naumov with Salvi to carry. The white sweaters trying to seal the wall is FAU. They post up. 2 Jacksonville players go in to fish it through. Carter Baker is in there wanting to free it. Comes out to Gugliotta to the half boards. Penalty is over. Out of the box comes Moriarty. 27 to go in the period. Owls looking for 2-on-1 the other way. Moriarty has it set up. He puts it in the middle. Jacksonville gets back defensively, and it's stolen. Polini and Greg Polini, alternate captain defensively, doesn't allow a shot on net, and McMillan has this puck. Some more pushing, some more shoving. Lent is in there for Jacksonville. Not sure who the Owl sweater is. There's 7 seconds left until the end of the first. Let's see if nothing should come out of this. Although now Dolphins look like they're not sure who's going to stay on the ice. Now going off is the man with the shoving, and Jonathan Lent. They'll have Gugliotta dig in with Polini. Owls top line back out there. 4 seconds to go. Off the glass, and that is where we sit. Some strong efforts from Connor Rose in net. But the Owls stay clean, and we stay scoreless. Give you shots when we resume the break in 15 minutes. You're watching FAU Men's 3 against Jacksonville AC/DC on Owl TV. Back with you for the start of the second period. Teams getting ready to rejoin the ice. Scoreless here at Boca Ice Center. Devin Serra riding solo for you tonight. Jacksonville, a very solid first period. They had one power play opportunity there late and were not able to score off of a Connor Moriarty trip. And likewise for the Owls, a very clean first period. Just one penalty on them, like we said, and they are 0 for 1 on their power play chances with a lot of notable guys out of their lineup, like John Bayona, Sam Carozzo, Hudson Kotze, Antonovsky. Short-staffed, but still trying to go about it. This is the first of 2 games they'll play, or I'm sorry, the only game they'll play this weekend against Jacksonville ACDC. This one is technically an exhibition. Very important for both sides, though, because Jacksonville undefeated coming into this, 3-0 on the year. And Florida Atlantic trying to get back in the right step after they lost badly to South Florida USF and Georgia Tech M2. So we'll flip sides of the ice. FAU in those blue and red sweaters will go from right to left. The Dolphins in a very nice look. Left to right, the white, green, and sand tan uniforms. They've also got the helmet stripe. For a first-year program, you didn't really know what to expect coming into this crew, but they have a very solid 20-man roster with players from all over the country, as far as Anchorage, Alaska, New York, Illinois. Take your pick. They are there. And not a lot of guys from Florida. Good start for them. And this crew, as we are on a delayed one tonight, thanks for sticking with us. So, Owls, can they get one on the board after a solid, clean 20 minutes? They get the opening face-off draw 1, and they'll try and get it out open ice. No lanes coming. Cañero lost handle of the puck. In after it for Jacksonville, Nick Naumov. Greg Polini, who's had a very good game so far defensively. Stick lifts. Owls player in Sam Watson, Joseph Lozeritis. Or rather, Buccigross turns it over. Naumov to the net. Pad stopped by McMillan. The follow-up, third try, and they score. That's Michael Gugliotta, the captain. McMillan made some nice stops, but nobody there except white sweaters to pick up those loose pucks, and their captain answers. Time of the goal, 30 seconds of the second period. And we'll wait to hear who's credited with the assists. Not what you wanted for an FAU group that held their own in their zone until that moment off a turnover. Gugliotta, talented product for them. The winger out of Fair Lawn, New Jersey. From Paramus Catholic High School in New Jersey, as McMillan gobbles that up from the end board streak in. He had played some time in the USPHL with the Bold City Battalion. 7 games in the Premier League, 33 in the Elite, where he put up 25 points in the 23-24 campaign. Pedri getting crunched to the boards out of the zone. Rothamich trying to move with it. Goes skied into the zone. So Naumov will get the assist on that Michael Gugliotta goal to open things in this contest tonight. Shot from Moriarty into the grasp of Connor Rose. He's had a solid start himself, product of the Syracuse Nationals AAA program. Corn High School, we talked about him earlier in the broadcast being one of those AAA product guys. And when you look at an ACDC roster like Jacksonville, you might expect them to have a lot of high school players, some a little undersized. They do not look a step behind at all. This guy pursuing the puck is massive. Redwan and Sami, easily 6 foot and change. Move it out of the zone quickly. They nearly had an opportunity for Dylan Semino with one man to beat. He gets shoved. Carter Baker pushes him through. Said his name a lot tonight. Connor Moriarty, wearing number 3, the Brandon, Florida sophomore. And back come the Dolphins over the line. Hard shot in on McMillan from the high slot. And he'll scoop it up with no rebound to do the draw to his right. This JU squad with a sweep over St. Leo University to open their program's existence. And they followed that up with a nice win over Florida Tech last weekend, 7-5. It's a pretty high clip to be scoring in your first 3 games. And almost 7 goals across their first 3 as a program in each of them. Back to retrieve it defensively, Bryce Malcolm. Got it forward for Nicholas Snyder. Former Florida Fury product, trying to get it out of the neutral zone. They do get through, and then it's quickly closed off. JU sweater blew a tire over his own blue line. That was Redwood and Sami. I don't think you wanted anybody to see that, but we did. In after the puck is Snyder. Shot from the point, went through a couple of bodies, wide of goal. Intended from Malcolm. And Natick, Maryland Jr. is going to have some help from behind. Pursuing him is Naumov. He'll play tag with Connor Strum. Turned over. And 2 players collide out there with Ugliata, the most recent scorer, out of play. And this FAU group starting to linger into conference play very soon. They've had a mixed schedule, including this ACDC. Open things against Miami, playing their M3 and ACDC team. Then Georgia Tech and USF M3, Georgia Tech M2 team. And then after this ACDC series, they will play Kennesaw State in a weekend, that being October 3rd and 4th, right here at Boca Ice Center. For an Embry-Riddle squad that's had a tough start to the year, to say the least. Watson into the attacking zone. Watson gets it back, wants a shot towards the goal. Blocking that one down in front, Ryan Jackson for Jacksonville. Defenseman coughed it up. Naumov at the blue line now. Renzi wants to go after it. And he'll leave it where pursuing Bryce Malcolm gets it through. He absorbs a check. Big hit laid out there from Antonio Pedri. It's a physical, well-sized Jacksonville team. Renzi wants to get around one man, and look out, that's going to be a penalty on FAU. And don't know if that was intentional or some payback on Pedri, but Malcolm hit him either way behind the play. And it's going to be a tripping call. And another case where FAU, an errant mistake, will allow a team back on the power play. 0 for 1, though, is Jacksonville in this game. Almost had a great kill to start late in the first period. McMillan, though, in our goal to the right. We'll see him draw into the dots. It's won by Jacksonville, trying to get up to the blue line, and it's a ensuing race for it. Comtois Tuma couldn't get there in time. And here come the Dolphins. Starting clean zone entry. Pickpocketed by Moriarty. They're unable to hold the line. Salvi nearly turned it over to Comtois Tuma on this kill. Will dump it from the red line. Connor Rose out of the net. Lone Owl to pursue it. Bartoshevich has been busy on this Owl penalty kill the last couple of weekends. Pedri ran into the official. Got it back now, Pedri. Skates behind. Wants Muth. Up to the point now. A sidestep. Bartoshevich tries to whack the stick. through the legs of Comtois-Tuma. Lent with a glove on McMillan, and that's a flashy leather stop. It is 11:30 Eastern time. We are going to get done with this well into the morning, guys. Appreciate you all staying with us. We had a delayed puck drop from 9:45 to 10:30. Jacksonville had a flat tire on their bus ride down here, some point in the Daytona area. And credit to Andrew Yagoda, this FAU staff, Christina, Kim, the rest of the volunteers sticking around. This shot from the high slot saved off the pads of McMillan. Getting tripped, and with no call, Jacksonville gets the puck back. But I surely thought that would be a tripping call. Getting upended. Tough break for A.J. Berry. Turnaround, Gugliotta, and Naumov with no rebound. Will pursue, 25 to go in the power play, and that is a very odd no call there. You see on your screen our side angle. Barry looked like he was going to go chase after a puck in the corner and just got completely footed by the reaching stick of that Jacksonville player, but no call. FAU is going to replace their penalty kill line. Off goes Bardashevich. On comes Watson. Lozeritis. Rather, Bucci-Gross. And that far wing, Moriarty, Drew Renzi posting up in front of McMillan. And now Jacksonville wants to talk about this as we have a delay in the box. It seems they are trying to get the score clock correct, as there might have been some time that trickled down from that whistle. 14:10 it says on the clock, 18 seconds left in the Jacksonville man advantage. So now they're going to put 29 seconds up on the board from that tripping call on Bryce Malcolm. Dolphins win the faceoff. Collision at the boards. Gugliotta loses his footing. Moriarty is in there. Up but not out. Held at the line by Naumov. Blouse moving through some bodies, and ultimately Bucci-Gross is the man to get it down. So that will do it for the Dolphins' second power play. They go 0 for 2 on the night. And it's iced by the Dolphins in their white sweaters, and then a stick falls out of the hands of Nick Naumov. He's not going to get a call there. And Owl fans might be thinking, well, there's a couple more penalties. There's FAU a man down, but we're nearing the halfway mark of this second, and it's a much cleaner game. You don't see this Owl team cheating as much. They're not getting into post-whistle scrums. Players like Drew Renzi show frustration at times, but that's because this group has decent talent. They have scoring ability. They showed that last year. It's defensively where they struggled and ultimately cost them in the postseason, where they were upset by Florida in the conference semifinal. They did make an appearance at Nationals in the M2 field after Richmond dropped out on a contingency. Drew Renzi into the attack. He wears number 11. Jake Bucci-Gross scoops it into his own pads. He thinks about going to the point. Gross ice on the back door. Wanted, looks like Rothmich over there, or rather Sam Watson. And Watson just could not collect that puck. Now look out, Jacksonville player is down at the half boards, and we'll get a whistle. That's not a good sight. That's down on one knee. Looks like David Chudnowski, Prospect Heights, Illinois forward, got crunched at the far half boards in his own zone. He gets up now. Looks like he just needed a moment to collect himself. Good to see there. So he will get back to the bench. New unit out there for both sides. Digging in is Rothmich. Had it, lost it, give it up. Racing over the line, Jonathan Lent drops it to the left wing. First man to get to that puck. And as it's flipped out, it's an underrated play there by, it looks like, Christopher Iannicelli. And full disclaimer, folks, I'm honest, you know, we're running on fumes up here. Mitch Liswith is our producer. He's keeping me entertained. Good friend of mine now. Does a great job with this LTV staff. So, you know, if there's something that I miss, they're going to have it for you. It's a good thing this isn't a radio call, or you would be screwed. Just put it bluntly. Rocco Salvi for the Dolphins can't retrieve it. FAU again. Some unstructured forecheck there as they have it trail back to their own zone. Now they'll flip it to their own trapezoid, just trying to get it out of harm's way for now. Was Connor Strum. From the right wing, centering feed, nobody home. Lent caught it, he gets slashed in the face with no call. And McMillan with a whistle, and now they're going to get FAU for the slash. That was a dangerous slash in the neck area on James Polini. He got back to the bench. It was a clear slashing penalty. And we'll get another Jacksonville power play. That's John Norton, the freshman out of Columbus, Ohio, who's going to sit. So Jacksonville gets another opportunity. And the only goal of this game from Michael Gugliotta. Even strength one, though. His penalty kill has been better for FAU, but they have got to stay clean. Cross ice for Pedri, takes one, missed the right post. Janowski holds the line. He's pursued by Bartoshevich. They get it deeper for Brandon Muth. Looks for options at the blue line, skates away from defenders. Thinks about setting up Janowski, will do. Shot towards the net off of an own man in Moriarty towards McMillan. And he will smother and will get a draw to the right of him. This Dolphin group, we don't have really the stats on them. It's a little tough to collect this year. If you're not familiar with the ACHA website, teams must submit their results in order for us to see their exact records. And not every team has gotten used to that process yet. A lot of the former AAU teams, Gugliotta sends one on net. Blocker down, great job getting in front of that puck was Bryce Malcolm. A lot of teams need to submit the results themselves, and some teams have not yet. Shot on McMillan, pad stop, kick to the far corner. Cross ice, Lent calling for it, wants a slapper, in and out of the pads of McMillan, and Gugliotta looking for his second, sent it wide. Lent, shot on net, Gugliotta once again in traffic, great stop on Naumov. McMillan keeping this one at just a one-goal advantage and out of the zone. Unable to hold it at the far wing is Jacksonville. Let back in, sails a shot wide. Rocco Salvi looking for redemption. Gugliotta calls for it at the high slot. He'll give it back for Salvi towards goal. That one is also wide. Naumov now takes a look, gets it deeper. Power play, pressure, good knockover. And we're going to get a penalty on that, and it's a tripping call on FAU. That is a tough one to take, as it's Malcolm who's got to sit. 30 seconds was left in that slashing call earlier. And slamming to the penalty box goes Bryce Malcolm. His second of the night, and his second trip for that matter. We're going to have 30 seconds of 5-on-3 time. Defending this for the Owls, Carter Baker, 21. 18, who on my roster is actually not Lozeritis. Is Lozeritis, excuse me. So Lozeritis, Carter Baker, and Alex Lesko. Stremecki and Muth getting some time to talk about it as there's a delay because of a piece of the glass and the structural damage to that far, nearly the corner area in the Owl zone. So that gives them some time to talk about this kill. It'll be Stremecki to dig in. Owls win that face-off. Baker tried to sell it out, couldn't do it. Pedri on a missed pass, and it's a breakout. It's a lone racing towards the net for Loza right. It's the backhand, and a kick save by Connor Rose. Almost got to his skate blade. That's a good job on the kill. Pedri, though, back into the net. Backhand and sticked away. That was McMillan. Lost it now. It's loose in the slot, and a great job getting to that puck first. Out of harm's way was Lesko. The extra skater doing damage there. It's now back to 5-on-4. Janowski back on the attack. They'll cycle it up low to high. Back to the left wing. Janowski tries to get to the middle. He's cut off by Buchigras and circled out. Justin Lopes defensively. 1 minute left in the power play. So Jacksonville, for now, is 0 for 3. Back in they come, though. Backdoor chance. Pedri almost could stuff it in there, and it was well defended by Lesko. That's a saving move by the freshman. Now Pedri behind the end boards. Salvi has some room. He wants to give it back for Pedri. Those two have been tagging up well all night. Looks for options. Blas gets it back. Blast, Pedri, quick passes, McMillan gobbles. And no putback opportunity comes. 27 to go in the fourth. Man advantage for Jacksonville in this game. 8:40 to go in the second. McMillan is keeping FAU right now at just a 1-goal advantage. Gugliotta from one leg, the only goal scorer of this game. Lost his footing. Owls couldn't get to it in time. Lent cross-size D-to-D, cut off. A great defensive shift, and they have a break if they hurry. John Norton from the right wing, shot well wide towards Rose. Moriarty is there, number 3. Solid kill for Alex Bartoshevich, the sophomore of Nashua, New Hampshire. It is over. 0 for 4 goes the Dolphins. So although FAU is taking these penalties, penalty kill and Matt McMillan are coming up big as a shot from Lent at the blue line is tipped out of play. Bartoshevich, AAA product out of North Shore Academy. Played also in the USPHL with the Islanders Hockey Club. Very, very solid killer for them. And if Owl fans need a bright spot to what has been a team that takes a lot, that sophomore in 23 is a bright spot. Bartoshevich is not sure if he's staying on the ice or going out. He's going to be behind, still confused. He's like, am I taking the draw? And he will. Renzi says, I'm coming out. Now they'll send Bartoshevich out, and Renzi takes the face-off. Some confusion there. Happens at times. Here's Semino. Noble has help with Polini. Jacksonville's done a great job holding pucks in all night long on the forecheck. Big collision behind the goal. Shot towards the net. Field for Semino. McMillan was down but not out. Noble. Once again, the forecheck holds it. Aaron Field is now out there. Only female on this Dolphins roster. And Sami can't hold the blue line. And Owls have opportunities the other way. Drew Renzi skates wide, tries to cut through the defense, gets to the middle, and a defensive move by Naumov to evade him. Man in front, looking for it. Buchigras, Finn on a one-timer attempt. Never found that puck, actually. And it's over the red line. Dolphins making some fresh line changes out there. Joe Cañero, number 7, has it. Owls need to get this puck cleanly out of their zone. They have been pestered all night long, and they turn it over again. Pellini in front. This FAU group trying to rotate out. Watson nearly lost his footing, and they just do not look in sync right now. The Owls trying to figure out where their forecheck is going, and Cañero sends it into the bench where it'll stop play. This is something Andrew Yagoda talked about to us before the year. They had some guys from last year that were really strong move up to M2. Aiden Georgiano, their leading scorer Christian Cuccia. They lost their captain Anthony Campagne, and a talented now M3 team brought in a lot of freshmen, the likes of Bartoshevich, Christopher Iannicelli, Alex Lesko, and these guys are getting big minutes. They just are learning. They're in a growing process, and you're seeing some of those growing pains with some of the penalties they take, but also the lack of their forecheck getting in sync. When this team is good, they're really good. Here's a turnover shot. Rose in and out of his glove, sailed it over. And here we go. Can the Owls establish some sort of forecheck? Blowing hit by Luke Blass. A tie-up at those far boards. They can't get it free. They're cut off by Brandon Muth, who's had a big night. The Woodbury, Minnesota native skates alone over the right wing, has 2 defenders in front of him. And after that is Lopes. Can't fight Muth off the puck. He'll button hook. Fights away at Lopes, doesn't know where the puck is. Now he'll stop up, trying to lift the stick. Shot towards the net, in the blue crease. They jam away at it. A pool ensues, and Pedri gets shoved out of there. McMillan somehow got on top of that. Boy, that was sitting in his paint for a long time. And now they will all skate away from that. McMillan has been so busy in his net. His biggest thing this year so far, really trick black setup he's got with his pads. His biggest concern is the rebounds, and he's a very good goaltender when you stand him up. He's not the biggest netminder in the world, standing at just 5'10", but he will make the initial stop. It's where in front of the net, sometimes defensively, FAU has broken down and not cleared pucks away for him when he makes those initial stops. Christopher Iannicelli could not hold on to that. McMillan out of his net to seal the wall. He'll backhand it. An open lane, Connor Strum trying to get away from defenders. Alex Lesko loses Hendo, now off in, and we've got another tripping call coming up. This is the 4th tripping call of this game. What was that? They signaled a trip. All right, that might be the oddest thing I've ever seen. The VAR official signals a trip, and there is none. Okay, 5-on-5, we stay. Jonathan Lent, shot towards the net. Pellini off the side of the goal, goes in after it. Naumov. I think it's the twilight zone, folks. I don't know what's going on. Are we at midnight yet? 11:48 is the Eastern time. Dolphins in the attack. Owls get 3 bodies to the puck, and now it's a race out for it. Trying to cut inside. Defensively, well done by Rocco Salvi. He negated Iannicelli. Alex Lesko at the neutral zone, can't hold it. Gugliotta, the captain. He's got the white cage. Set it up for Pellini. Just missed it. Here come the Owls back the other way. Drop pass, an open lane to shoot. Rose with the pad stop. .3:35 to go in the second period. The lone goal, Michael Gugliotta, assisted by Nick Naumov, a captain and an alternate captain tagging up. And it was the Owls that were offside as Cañero sent it in. And a busy night with a lot of scratches for FAU coming into this game. And I'll correct myself from what I heard earlier, as this FAU group is scheduled to take on Jacksonville tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's correct, but I will double check social media at the break. There's been so many schedule changes just 3 weeks into this season, and we're not going to be done with it yet. Here's a steal by the Owls. Polini sets up the left wing, shot on McMillan, and he made the blocker stop up into the netting, and Samini is pushing an Owl behind the net. That's Sam Watson, and now they'll all skate away. These Polini brothers are really good. Greg Polini wears number 9. He's the alternate captain. James Polini wears number 19. They both played at Belmore Merrick Central High School in New York. Both AAA products with the New York Aviators. And Polini played with the Long Island Lightning at Nationals, AAA team. So when you look at this Jacksonville roster, you say, well, why are they ACDC? First-year program. The scheduling for them just made sense. And in all honesty, this is a team we could be looking at in contention for the conference when we get into February time. Here's Drew Renzi. They need one badly. Cross-ice feed, trying to feed Watson. A turnaround shot just off the back of the goal. That was Canyero winding up. And we'll get a whistle as it went out of play. That was the Owls' best chance towards the net in a while. Rather, second in a while, but the point stands. 2:47 to go. It's been mostly Jacksonville controlling the forecheck in this game. They have done a beautiful job forcing the Owls to take more penalties. Although the Dolphins are 0 for 4 on the power play, they are a solid group on the first and second lines, and defensively they do the right things. They're well coached over there. The only one traveling with them, Jim Stecklow, but their head coach is a former ECHL star. And Derek Lodermeyer as Pedri upends a man. Owl fans want a call. They're not going to get one, or are they? Now a crowd ensues, and look out. A cross check from behind as a man down in front of the Owls bench. Michael Terry receives it, and we're going to get some more on both sides here. Blowing him up from behind. That was, it looked like 34 and Pedri, who's going to go into the box. That's Antonio Pedri, the big body forward from Rosemont, Minnesota. Just leveled Terry in front of the penalty box area. I think we got a good look of that on your Owl TV screen. Janowski is over there as well talking about it. Their captain, Gugliotta. This is going to take some time to assess this because that was an ugly cross-check by the Jacksonville forward on Terry. I think Terry's okay. And let's see what they assess here. 5 minutes on the board. This is a major penalty.
Nice cheap shot.
And they are going to send, is that Nathan Stremecki? It is. So I stand corrected. It was not Pedri who cross-checked. That's Nathan Stremecki from Buffalo, New York is in the box. Now 2 minutes also sit. So Pedri is going to sit in the box, but Nathan Stremecki is out of this game. And it's a 5-minute major penalty along with what Pedri got involved with. Now, someone else is going to serve that penalty. As you hear the fans behind us unhappy about that one. It was a cross-check. Terry received the worst of it. Let's see if they're going to put any FAU players in the box, as I believe Pedri also got a shove there late. Regardless, this is an FAU power play, and I'm counting 3 Dolphin sweaters to the Owls 5. This is an opportunity like they have not had this season. Drew Renzi to take the draw. It's going to be all you can eat. No matter what happens, they are going to stay on the power play. For this 5-minute major on Nathan Stremecki, and then Antonio Pedri gets 2 minutes. I assume that was for cross-checking. But we'll get you clarification at the breaks. Regardless, here we go. FAU golden opportunity to even this game up. Sam Watson and them win the draw. They get it back up to the point, looking towards the net. They'll drop it off. This top power play unit, they want to feed Renzi. He's their quarterback. He posts up behind the goal, looking for his options. One-timer! That's blocked in front by Janowski and cleared the length of the ice. There is 20 seconds separating game clock and penalty clock on the 5-on-3. After that, it will be 3 minutes of 5-on-4 for that major penalty. Renzi in 15. Skates over the line. Gives it to Watson. They'll play tag. Looking for that wing. Watson with a one-timer. Loose change, and it's put wide of goal. Unable to slam it home. Renzi gets it back. In the right wing. One more time in front of the crease, and Rose puts his left hand down on it to stop play, and we'll get a new 3-man kill as Lent comes out to the ice. Greg Polini, joined by Rocco Salvi. Owls will keep their top power play group out there. Joseph Lozaritis, number 18 tonight, will take the draw. Lozaritis softly won that, but Dolphins got numbers to the puck. That's a smart decision. They prevent the Owls from setting up anything. Connor Strumman, 14, cross-ice feed. 1:17 to go in the period. Sam Watson over the blue line. Shot on Rose and a flashy glove stop with the leather. If you're just joining us, it was mostly the Dolphins that were controlling the pace of this one, but now with 47 to go and 5-on-3, this could potentially change in a hurry. Connor Moriarty, great job holding at the blue line. Drops it with Bucci Gross. Underneath the legs of Rothamich. He gets it back. Bucci Gross swings it to the right wing. In and out of the handle of Comtois Tuma. Moriarty posts up behind. He wanted Rothamich, and a deflection off the skate blade of Jonathan Lent, who felt that one. Might have a bruise in the morning. Bucci Gross wants to feed the break-in. A.J. Berry at the left wing. Shot wide of the left post, and it rolls all the way towards McMillan. They will kill the 5-on-3, but 3 minutes of 5-on-4 time from that major penalty out of this game. Nathan Stremecki, Bucci Gross over the red line, comes in. He stops with Moriarty. He'll swing it left side. Rothamich directs this. Deeper into the zone. Berry behind the goal. He's cut off by Pedri, who came out of the box. Bucci Gross shot, got to Rose. Moriarty could not pick it up on a loose rebound, and that is it for 40 minutes. The Owls do not capitalize on the 5-on-3, but they will have 2 minutes and 35 of all-you-can-eat power play when we resume. An interesting one here at Boca Ice as we reach 11:59 on the East Coast. Stick with us. Could be a good one. You're watching the M3 FAU Owls and AC/DC Jacksonville on Owl TV. Final frame coming up in the witching hour of this Saturday morning in Boca Raton, Florida. Devin Serra with you alone as these teams will flip sides of the ice. We'll give you a brief game recap of this one. Not much going on in the scoring. Michael Gugliotta had the only goal of this game, assisted by Nick Naumoff halfway through the second, an even strength goal. It has been FAU taking most of the penalties in this game, a common thread for them through the first couple start this season, but they keep Jacksonville 0 for 4 on the man advantage, and then at the end of this last period, a collision in front of the penalty box doors. Nathan Stremecki gets a 5-minute major penalty and disqualified from this game. And with a follow-up penalty to Antonio Pedri, Owls got a 5-on-3 that the Dolphins killed off. But they are still on the 5-minute major power play. They have 2:28 of all you can eat Golden Corral style to work with. They have not gotten on the board in this game, and they are in due for one. And this top group gets back out there. Drew Runze setting up Watson, who just put it wide. Right on the doorstep. Renzi gets it back. Good job holding the wall. He wants the feed. He's defended well by Selby, and that caught a piece of Rose and kicked to the far corner. Watson keeps it deeper. Now in to pursue it, finishing a check on the far boards. Lozeritis, number 18 tonight. Feeds in the back door. They score! Carter Baker! The Owls tie it up in the first minute of this third. Time of the goal, 42 seconds of this third, and they will stay on this power play because of that major penalty assessed to Nathan Stremecki. A big-time goal for the freshman out of Waterville, Ohio, product of Anthony Wayne High School. Big time. And set up beautifully by Lozeritis, who will get the assist on that one. And here they come right back in with speed. Joseph tries to put it in front. Nobody home. Pellini was there. Greg, that is. And keeping the play deeper to the zone. Wanted to get it back for Lozeritis. It's a big-time answer for this Owl group that has felt the pressure after getting trounced by USF last week and Georgia Tech. They have the tying goal for now. 1:23 is left in the man advantage for them. If this all sits like it does, they are going to, for now, be 1 for 2. Dolphins want to get Greg Pellini back out there. This first-year ACDC program is undefeated coming into tonight with sweeps over St. Leo University and Florida Tech, a couple of ACDC squads. This is an exhibition, although it feels like FAU needs a game like this to go in their favor. Alternate captain Greg Pellini will send it deeper for McMillan. James sends it back, an opportunity for his brother Greg to the net. McMillan made the stop. And he tries to stretch it out for his forwards. Bucci-Gross gets around Janowski. James Pellini takes a hit up high, and they're going to call a penalty on Bucci-Gross for a high stick. And still down on the ice in a heap of pain is James Pellini. Great to see him get up. He took a high stick right to the neck from Bucci-Gross, and that's not what you want to see in this one. And now FAU will go to the kill again. They are 4 for 4 in that regard, but this is a tough one to take right now after they just answered. There's going to be 29 seconds of 4-on-4 time before the Dolphins go to their 5th man advantage. Some fresh groups out there. Owls will get Losaritis out there, number 18. And post up on McMillan, some open ice. Owls wanted to stretch it. Salvi cut him off over the line. Skates wide backhand at a sharp angle on McMillan, who came out to play it and cover. And he will do just that. And Jacksonville's strength tonight has been forcing turnovers on FAU, especially in the Owls' own zone. They have really struggled on their breakouts and even strength opportunities. And needless to say, they have the league lead in penalty minutes. They have taken now, with all of it added up tonight, 101 penalty minutes this season through just 4 games. They're now 5. Lent can't get it out of the zone. Backhand in front, opportunity! And Drew Renzi put the goal wide. He had it point blank range. Connor Rose on a platter, and he missed the goal. And the Dolphins go to the man advantage again. Sam Watson, good job playing keep away. Lozaritis was going to be the lone attacker. He goes off to the bench. Watson needs changes. He'll get it. Carrying over the offensive zone, wide in front for a point. One-time shot. Didn't get through. I think they wanted to put Antonio Pedri in a good spot, and a nice feed from Pellini. Stick out of the hands of Renzi. He's just trying to kick this rubber into the half boards, and now they cut it free. Owls push it deeper. Carter Baker, the most recent scorer, thought about the wraparound. He got cut off. Let's get out of the zone as they are on the kill. 30 to go in that man advantage for the Bucci-Gross high stick. Nice pass up to A.J. Berry. He gets belted over by Pedri. And a touch at the red line for A.J. Berry, although they are on the kill. This allows David Janowski of Prospect Heights, Illinois, to carry up left wing with speed. Gets smushed to the boards, absorbs the check, however. Penalty is over. 0 for 5 are the Dolphins on the man advantage tonight. They'll move outside of the dots. Fed it in the middle. Nobody there. Janowski to retreat. As him and Bucci-Gross get into it behind the play. Here's Carter Baker. Turnover in front. Would not get to McMillan. Owls with a heap of speed as they're changing. Cutting outside, centering. Wanted Rothovich right there was Connor Strum. Renzi holds it. It's a high stick played. This one will stay in the offensive zone. They'll say it was against Jacksonville. 15:09 to go in this first period. We appreciate all of you staying up late with us, whether you're watching from Jacksonville all the way to South Florida and beyond north. It's a late one here, some midnight madness. The Owls answer just past the 12:12 time Eastern. Make a wish, 12:22. Owl fans wishing for the lead. They almost coughed it up in their own zone. Dolphins couldn't touch it or it would have been offside. Leads to a near odd man rush. They want to fed it out in front for Renzi. White sweaters do a good job keeping it out of the attack area, and Sami Muth carried up by Gugliotta, the only goal scorer for this Dolphin group. Drew Renzi over the Boca logo, couldn't get past the lone defenseman and Zach Kappas. Renzi smushes him into the corner boards. Kappas back, he's got a man wide open in the back door. Didn't look up and find him, and defending that, it's Watson and Renzi in this near corner. Out in front, Rose on the shot from Watson wouldn't go. And we'll get a draw to the right of him. Watson John as he's going back to the bench. And JU will also change. Jacksonville team very stymied. This is the most pressure they faced, even strength from FAU all night. Rothamich to dig in. Can't win the draw. Pedri gets it out. They've got numbers if they hurry. Semino. Pedri lost an edge. Allows the Owls to break out. Quickly over the line. Right wing, Bucci-Gross. Wants in the middle. Defended well. And that will be Jonathan Lent out of harm's way. Goes past the official. Rose seals the wall behind him. Caniero. Out of the low slot, Semino will just wrap and send it the length of the ice. Will it reach the trapezoid? Icing is called off. Owls are changing. This is Caniero going D-to-D with Bucci-Gross. Gugliotta's in there, and he falls down. Semino persistent on the wraparound try, and they score! Gugliotta's got two! And the Dolphins reclaim the lead. Gugliotta looked down and out behind the goal. It was a turnover by the Owls at their own end boards. Caniero moved out of position defending, and nobody saw that puck except Gugliotta. The captain has two in this game, and they reclaim the lead. 12:59 here to go in the third period in a late one. What a heads-up play by the veteran out of Fair Lawn, New Jersey. So what do the Owls do from that? Comtois Touma has a face full of white sweaters. Coughed it up to Naumov. Gets it back now. They still tie up with it in that far corner, or rather near corner in the FAU zone. Pestering Naumov with Greg Polini. Knocked off the puck by Lopes. They go sprawling into the boards. Gugliotta absorbs a check and gets it back to FAU zone. William Comtois Touma. Dump and chase. Moriarty wanting to get there first. Jonathan Lent prevented him. Gugliotta loses his stick, and that is going to be a slashing call coming up on the Owls. And we've got more shoving behind the play. Jonathan Lent is in the face of, I think, Bartoshevich over there. Gugliotta separates them. And so the slash on Gugliotta. And that is a inopportune time to take a penalty right there. 12 minutes to go. The slashing call on Justin Lopes. That's now the third straight game where the Owls take 3 or more penalties. Quick shot off the face-off. Flashy leather stop for McMillan. And the hard thing is that all of these penalties come a little bit different. You can take your pick. They've had 3 trips tonight and 2 slashing calls, and it's just cost them. That's a good job off the face-off to clear the zone, where a lot of it isn't post-whistle scrums or somebody taking a slow foot. A lot of it is just trying to reach on plays, not keeping your stick down. One of them was a high stick on Polini, and it costs you when you're in these close games, giving the opposition more time to possess. Now Janowski with a shot on McMillan, and looking for the tip. He's unsure of where it is. What are they gonna... Dolphin players looked like they were thinking of celebrating there, but I think McMillan got it. I don't know why there was so much reaction from the Dolphin forwards. Nonetheless, they'll skate away. I thought that was a good glove stop by McMillan. He ends up making this up. He's got that all black leather. Janowski another try with a moving screen in front, and he's got another one. How about Matthew McMillan with a bounce-back performance? The White House Station, New Jersey sophomore. He finished 4th in save percentage last year among College Hockey South goaltenders with at least 6 starts. .901 percentage. There's another try from the point by James Polini, and it's sailed out of the zone. Some time to breathe. 1:08 to go in the 6th man advantage tonight, and we've got a high stick played by the Dolphins. I'm not sure if they're going to be allowed to change here. Janowski, Pedri, Muth stay out there. The Owls go with Rothamich. Sam Watson to dig in for the draw. And the far wing, Bryce Malcolm. So Polini, James, one to connect with Muth, unsuccessful. Keep it in the zone. They've done that well all night long, holding the zone. Pedri is pickpocketed. Owls quickly move up right wing. Looking for somebody. Rothamich, far wing, now a chance, and the puck went off the side of the goal from Watson. Connor Strum, number 14, having a good kill. Owls do a great job preventing a clean zone entry. 27 to go in that slashing call on Justin Lopes. As we near the halfway mark of the third, time winding down. Gugliotta with 2 goals in this game, the latest on a wraparound try. One last rush. Here's Jonathan Lent. Over the line, they're going to say they're offside. And that's Nick Naumov. Barely got his right skate. Unable to hold in the blue line. 4 seconds left. This is all but going to kill the remaining time. So 0 for 6. Despite the Owls' penalties in this game, they prevent a power play goal for now. If you're an FAU fan, you've got to think that this is a moment they've got to stay clean as we get exactly to halfway. They put this faceoff all the way in ACDC Jacksonville zone. An exhibition, the M3 Owls and the ACDC Jacksonville Dolphins. Here's Drew Renzi. Wrapped his own boards. The kill is over. Sails over top the head. Up the right wing. Re-entering the zone, Cunero. Towards the goal, redirected wide. Jonathan Lent is in there. Watson seals the wall. They get it deep in front of the backhand, and Renzi stopped by Rose. Up to the point, shot, another pad stop by the Dolphin netminder. And now Renzi will back up. He's going to switch places. Low to high, gets turned over. Dolphin player loses a stick. That might have prevented a 3-on-2. That was Gugliotta. He gets it back, however, as Renzi retreats. In hot pursuit behind him is Naumov. Greg Polini making life tough for Cunero and Watson. Watson put it off the official skate. Getting in that lane. Dolphins somehow hold the line, and Gugliotta had set up Polini and couldn't get to that puck in time. Losing the stick, Cunero. He'll seal the wall. Gets help with Watson. A softie. They don't get it out of the zone again. It's Jonathan Lent now down lower. And a shot never comes. Bucci Gross closes in. It's a great job by the sophomore out of Weymouth, Massachusetts, and Bucci Gross. They would have had a close shot on McMillan. 8:18 to go in this game. Still a stick on the ice. I believe it's Joe Cunero's, and he never picked it up as he went off. Connor Moriarty races in. Softy wide by Bartoshevich. Dylan Semino. Foiled on the clear. Shot from the point. Sticked and out of play by Connor Rose. It took us a while to get going in this one. Michael Gugliotta scored even strength late in the second at the 42-second mark of this third. Carter Baker on a great feed by Joseph Lozeritis had the tying goal, and then shortly after, Michael Gugliotta, Dolphins captain in their first season. Clapper from the point, left pad stop this time by Rose. James Polini finds Pedri. He'll look for room to get out. A stymie Bartoshevich holds the blue line, turned over. Great job by the Owls, persisting on this. Straight to the neutral zone. They've got to control this back to their own zone. They'll swing it. Opposite wing they go. Racing in after it. Wanted to put one in front. Bartoshevich couldn't get the shot off. He gets upended by Noble behind the goal. Booth absorbs a check. Pedri, who's had a lot of ice time tonight, forces this one in the neutral zone. Owls are closing in on 7 minutes to go in this third period, trying to avoid dropping 3 straight. Meanwhile, AC/DC Jacksonville off to as good a start as you can ask for a first-year program. Arm in the air. What do we got here? We've got an elbowing call, and I think it's against the Owls. That's a killer. Christopher Iannicelli. Rather, I said it was 8. That's what they pointed to, but it was Bartoshevich. Went off the ice so quickly. I know I'm not as good at those tonight. It's the 7th penalty for the Owls tonight. Just cannot have those. The penalty troubles continue for this young Owl team. Off the face-off win. D-to-D they go. Janowski sailed it over Gugliotta. He's got 2 goals tonight. Almost stolen away by Lozeritis. Pesky kill. Great play off the glass by Malcolm. Into race after it. Janowski pins his man to the boards, and A.J. Berry. Racing left wing. Luke Blass stays onside. Owls hurry the other way. Short-handed. Lozeritis, soft shot. Sticked aside by Rose. A.J. Berry persistent on this kill. Gives it back. Dolphins smartly just playing keep away here. We've got 5:50 to go in the third. 1 minute left in the 7th power play for the Dolphins tonight. If there is any silver lining right now, it's that FAU's penalty kill has been terrific. And still without a shot on this man advantage are the Dolphins. Lent finds a lane. He's upended. Taken away by Rothamich. Skied into the netting. And Bryce Malcolm intersecting that. 30 to go in the man advantage. And reminder to join us tomorrow here on Owl TV as the M3 Owls take on this Jacksonville squad for the closer of this series. I believe is 7:30 right here on Owl TV, but I'll confirm that for you at the end of this broadcast. M2 FAU goes to Kendall Ice Arena to take on Miami. Here's the Dolphins sending a shot wide off of Pedri. Tie up in the near boards. Watson is in there. Digs it free. Muth finishes a check on an Owl player at the blue line as time will expire. 0 for 7. Make that the Dolphins. Muth sends it in. It's Moriarty there. Closing Pedri. Has help with William Comtois-Tuma. And after it, James Polini. McMillan looked like he wanted to grab that for a whistle. Couldn't get to it. Samini towards the goal, blocked by his own man in front. Owls got to get going here. Rothamich skates left wing. Comtois Tuma goes after it. In the middle. That's James Polini. Connects with Samini. Fresh line change for the Dolphins, smartly made. Under 4 minutes to go in this third. We'll keep you posted if they pull McMillan. Owls again struggling to set up a forecheck. They are just trying to feed this puck out in front, but they're going to get an opportunity here on the power play as it's a tripping call on the Dolphins. That's number 66 going, Zach Kappas. That's his second tripping call of the game. And there you go, Owl fans. You needed some life. Under 4 minutes to go. 2 minutes in the box. He'll sit. And who do the Owls put on the ice? They're going to call a timeout here. Coach Andrew Yagoda wants to talk about it. Quick game recap for you. We were scoreless after the first. FAU outshot the Dolphins 9-7 in that period. Middle part of the second, the captain for the Dolphins, Michael Gugliotta, scores from an assist by Nick Naumov on a good play towards the net in the middle of the ice. On a crashing play that was a bit of a loose rebound. McMillan couldn't pick it up. Nobody in the defense could get there except for Gugliotta. That was followed as we entered the third. JU up 1-0. 42 seconds into the third frame. A massive goal by Carter Baker on the power play from Lozeritis on a nice feed from the far wing. And quickly it was answered by Gugliotta, getting up from the ice on the end boards on a wraparound shot past McMillan. That's where we sit. Dolphins are 0 for 7 in this game on the man advantage. Your Owls are 1 for 3. They need one right now. They're going to put their top group out there. Sam Watson on the wing, Drew Renzi at center. And their blue line will be unable to hold that in. That was Connor Strum. Now they have got to find a way to break out. Carter Baker, number 21, is on the ice. The only goal scorers for the Owls. And here they come. Dump and chase the goal. Rose couldn't seal the wall. Janowski slapped it, and Carter Baker can't hold the far blue line. Skating past defenders. Here comes Strum. Gets deep to the zone. He'll post up. Owls, they get all their forwards deep. Sam Watson for Renzi. They want to get it to the front. Crashing, calling for it. Shot from Lozeritis. Stopped by Rose. Naumov can't clear the zone. Renzi at the wall. Janowski to hold him there and unable to hold the blue line. Back is Strum. 1 minute to go in that power play. McMillan telling them to push it forward. Watson gets onside. Miscommunication, but they hold the blue line in. Good job by Baker that time. Lozeritis now. Dropped it for Strum. They want it deeper to Renzi. Renzi defensively held up by Salvi. Renzi looking for a lane to shoot. They wind up. Baker couldn't handle it. 35 to go. Unable to connect in the middle for Lozeritis. Now Strum back to the wing. Renzi from Watson. Trying to wrap that one around. Can they keep the line? No, it's out. And the Owls must reset. They'll have one more opportunity. 20 to go in the man advantage. 2 minutes left in this hockey game. Connor Strum, the top power play. Miscommunication as Watson has to retreat. That is a tired first power play unit that's got to find a way to dump and chase. In they go. A tired Renzi races after it. He gets to it in front. Watson couldn't handle, and sprawling Rose makes the stop with some more pushing and shoving. Salvi in the face of Lozeritis, and the Law skate away, and that is it for the power play. 1 for 4 goes the Owls. They do not capitalize. And let's see if they pull McMillan on this faceoff. And the Dakota squad has had a better game, although they took 7 penalties in this one. The Dolphins capitalized from their captain. And now Gugliotta, a captain's effort to force out to the neutral zone. 1:35 to go in regulation time. Connor Moriarty spaces this one out from the red line. Jacksonville will put their forwards and defensemen in a 1-3-1 formation over the red line. Moriarty dumps it towards Rose. They get in the middle. Rose comes out to play it, holding the line. Good job by Bucci-Gross. Wanted to seal it. James Pellini got it out. Gugliotta. McMillan is still in net to our right. The Owls can't possess it. James Pellini wanted to feed Gugliotta. They give it right back to James Pellini, and that forces McMillan out. 52 to go on the clock. Owls just got to get in the red line and chase it in. Now McMillan goes to the bench. Here we go. Renzi onside. Skates behind. One to feed it in front. Rose sprawls out and getting knocked down to the ice in front. A.J. Berry wanted to slam it home, as paying the price in front was Bucci-Gross. 38.7 on the clock. Everybody will skate away from this. Owls are going to change some of their line. And a crucial face-off coming up. Do the Dolphins take a timeout here? Doesn't look like they will. They're going to get in defensive formation, put 3 forwards on that side of the ice in front of Connor Rose. Directing his offense, a forward check, Lozeritis, as Watson's behind him. They get it free for Renzi, up top to the point, looking for a shot towards the net. That one's blocked off Janowski. At the wall, Janowski up and out of the zone, unable to hold, and it's a breakout opportunity coming into the net. Nick Naumov on the empty netter scores. Owls could not hold the blue line, and Nick Naumov finishes off this one. The alternate captain has a goal and assist to finish this game out. Not for a lack of effort. A terrific hockey game. Both teams had their looks, and FAU ultimately will, barring a miracle, fall to 2-3-0. How about this AC/DC Jacksonville Dolphin group? Owls with a chance the other way with a shot that sails high over the goal. They needed it right there to have a chance. Jim Stecklow, his forwards come into Boca. Gugliotta and Nick Naumov finish this off. Jacksonville stays undefeated to begin their inaugural season. Great finish tonight by both teams. FAU had a perfect penalty kill. They kept Jacksonville 0 for 7. A perfect night for their group. Bartoshevich was great. The only goal scorer for FAU tonight was Carter Baker from Joseph Lozeritis on the power play. But it's not enough. They fall to 2-3-0 on the year. AC/DC Jacksonville improves to 4-0. And we will do this again tomorrow night right here in Boca. So be sure to join us for that one as well. Game time is slated for 7:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on Owl TV. Wes Moore will have the call for you there. And that is going to do it for our production. Thank you for staying with us into the wee hours of the morning for this one, as Jacksonville survives a flat tire on their bus ride, and goals from their leadership get them over the hump. Final score tonight, Jacksonville 3 and FAU 1. So for our entire production team here at Owl TV, our producer Mitch Liswith, our terrific staff here on hand, my name is Devin Serra, and you've been watching this presentation of M3 FAU Hockey on Owl TV. So long. Have a great night.